All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into two of the most consequential, most misunderstood, and, let's be honest, most whispered words in the entire human language. We're going to conduct a definitive analysis of shart and fart. Okay, let's just get right into it.
So, right off the bat, I want you to think about this. We think we know these words, right? We use them, we experience them. But here's the thing. At their core, one of them describes a single, isolated event. The other tells a whole story, usually a tragedy. Stick with me, and we are going to solve this mystery together.
So our whole investigation really kicks off with this idea of an unexpected duality. I mean, even though these two things are often said in the same breath, they are basically opposing forces. They exist in this really delicate and sometimes, let's face it, dangerous balance. So, what are we actually looking at here? Well, we're starting with two concepts that are just wrapped up in assumptions. And our mission for this explainer is to replace these big old question marks with some real clarity. We're going to deconstruct them piece by piece. You know, to really understand something complex, you got to master the simple thing first. So let's start by setting up our baseline, our control variable in this little experiment, the fart.
Let's just look at the straight-up clinical definition. A fart is, simply put, the predictable and isolated release of intestinal gas. Now, you got to notice the key words here, predictable and isolated. There's a certain reliability to it, right? An almost comforting simplicity. It's an event that has very clear boundaries.
And we can break that simplicity down even further. A fart is purely gaseous. Its outcome? Predictable. The stakes are pretty low. I mean, usually it's just a momentary social foul. Its composition is singular, just gas, and its impact is mostly about sound. It happens, and then, poof, it's gone.
And that, my friends, brings us to the shart. And this is where we leave the world of a simple event and we enter the realm of story, of drama, and of a deep personal betrayal.
Every single shart begins with this one powerful idea: trust. It's that unspoken faith we put in our own body, that belief that we've got the situation under control. It's this quiet confidence that what's about to happen is exactly what we expect to happen.
So what happens when that faith is completely wrong? When that quiet confidence is just shattered in a single horrifying instant? Well, the answer to that question is the very definition of a shart. It is that exact moment where your expectation and reality just violently crash into each other. And this shows you the whole tragic story arc. It all starts with a simple expectation: I'm about to fart. Then comes the miscalculation, the fatal error in judgment. And finally, you get hit with the devastating reality, a complex, multi-state event that is anything but simple, and definitely anything but just gas. See? This isn't an event. It's a plot twist.
Okay, so we've looked at both of them, and now it's time for the climax of our explainer. We're going to put them side by side and nail down the defining difference with absolute, undeniable clarity.
Okay, here it is. The whole point is laid bare in this chart. Just look at the composition. Pure gas versus a horrifying gas and solid hybrid. Now look at reliability. You've got high reliability versus disastrously low. And the aftermath? Minimal versus, well, catastrophic. You see, a fart is a question of acoustics, a shart is a question of laundry and logistics.
And this gets us to the main idea here. A shart is not just a wet fart or a bad fart. No way. That's like saying a tsunami is just a big wave. The difference here is not about degree. It is a fundamental difference of kind. They are two totally separate categories of existence.
All right, let's pull all this together for the wrap-up. After this whole journey through anatomy and trust and betrayal, we finally arrive at our moment of truth.
If you remember one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this. At its heart, this is a story about physics. It's about two states of matter. One is pure gas, it's fleeting, it disappears. The other introduces a solid into the equation, a very tangible and, frankly, terrifying complication.
Let me put it another way. A fart is a sound. You can deny it, you can blame it on the dog. It just fades away. A shart leaves evidence. It's a physical artifact of your miscalculation. It's a story that requires a cleanup crew. And so that leaves us with one last provocative thought. Now that we understand the profound difference, now that we've stared into the abyss that separates these two things, doesn't it make you wonder, in the end, with the stakes being this high, isn't every single fart a gamble? Think about it. Thanks for joining this explainer.